Okay, so I'm in London. I had to buy a hat because it was too cold not to.
This is number one champion sound. Yeah, Estelle, we about to get down. Who the hottest in the world right now? Just touched down in London town. Bet they give me a pound. Tell them put the money in my hand right now. Got a promoter, we need more seats. We just sold out all the floor seats.
Take me on a trip, I'd like to go someday. Take me to New York, I'd love to see LA. I really want to come pick you with you. You'll be my American boy. He said, hey sister, it's really nice to meet ya. I just met this 5'7" guy who's just my type. Like the way he's speaking, his confidence is peaking. Don't like his baggy jeans, but I like what's underneath it. And no, I ain't been to MIA. I heard the Cali never rains, and New York's wide awake. First, let's see the West End. I'll show you to my brethren. I'm liking this American boy, American boy. Take me on a trip, I'd like to go someday. Take me to New York, I'd love to see LA. I really want to come pick you with you. You'll be my American boy.
Hi everyone, welcome back. This is my vlog about, of course, my trip to London. So it has taken me a little bit of time to actually put this vlog together because as soon as I got back, well actually the last day of my trip in London, I got very sick and I'm still really not feeling 100%, but I have to make this vlog because the trip was just amazing. So I've shown you a little bit of kind of the scenery once I actually got to London, but first I want to talk about me getting to London. It was actually a very stressful situation because this was the first time that I planned out everything on my own. I booked all my own flights and my travel to the airport and to the actual city that the airport was in. Typically agents are doing these things for me, so it's set in stone. But, I did it all myself and it was a success. I took a train from the city that I live in, Trento, to a city called Verona. Then I flew from Verona to Germany and then Germany to London. It was actually very simple. I was nervous for no reason and it all worked out. I actually went to London because I met my friend there that I went to college with, and it was a group of students that are actually still attending Western. And this trip was kind of also a reminder of how old I'm getting because next month it'll be 3 years since I graduated with my bachelor's. And all of the students on the trip were under 21 years old. So he and I were the only people knocking on 25. So it was pretty interesting, but fun to say the least. We had so much fun on this trip and we just did so much exploring and we really tried to make the most of the time that we had there. We were there 6 days and 5 nights. After the fact, looking back in my phone, I realized that I did not record as much as I thought that I did. I think that I actually was just taking in the moment and so in awe at how beautiful everything was that I forgot to record some things. But I do have a lot of good moments that I would like to share with you guys. The first 2 days of the trip, we were just strictly sightseeing and we were on the infamous double-decker bus. It was so awesome. It was a really cool experience just riding around the town. And originally we were at the top, but it was so cold that we just couldn't bear to be up there anymore. We had to go on the bottom deck because there was no shield, there was no cover. It was just straight cold wind. It was so cold in London. Once again, I don't have my coat. I don't know why I didn't think it's cold in Europe. I think when you just think about destination places, you don't necessarily think cold, but it was so cold. So this is the bus. They run around the whole city all day and you just hop on and hop off whenever you want to, whenever you're done seeing whatever you got off for. The first major thing we got off to see was Big Ben. Okay, right behind me, Big Ben, Big Ben. So we rode around pretty much all day, and we were just so exhausted by the middle of the day because it was freezing cold. I know I keep saying that, but it was kind of like a damper on the trip. But and then it actually took us 2 hours to get back to our hotel because we had to ride all the stops just to get back to where we started. So that was just draining in itself. So then day 2 arrived and the weather was better, and we got off at this stop, and we were supposed to be there for a Harry Potter tour. We completely missed the tour, but we got off and it was like we stepped into a whole nother world. Everything was just so amazing. Where's Greece? I don't see Greece.
United States.
This is so nice. No, he must not have got around to it yet.
Oh, it's over there.
Oh.
Thank you, Poland.
Oh, this is so nice.
Let's go the way that he's. Oh, yeah, it's better over here.
Wait. Oh, I wish I had. Oh, I do have a pound.
Tell me your secret.
What? I just don't get it. Like, are we missing it? So after leaving that very cool area, we entered Soho, and this is Chinatown.
There's a geotag. You got it. The Lego ride.
Look at me, guys. Come on. Yeah. Come on, come on. Give me a hand, give me your hand. Give me your hand.
Oh yeah, we're dancing for the camera.
Yeah.
After having a total blast, some kind of way we ended up right in the middle of a protest, and we were like stuck for a very long time. The protest lasted, it had to be hours it lasted. So we decided to just get something to eat because the buses weren't running and we were kind of just stuck right there.
High five.
Straight, boy. You saw that?
Later on in the day, we took a boat tour down the river. These are the London Towers and the London Bridge. It was so awesome to actually see the London Bridge. So that was pretty much all that we did with the touring during the day. We actually tried to go out that night, but it was a fail because my friend had on joggers and they wouldn't let us in. We got turned away at the door. So we stood in line. in the cold for a very long time, and I'm pretty sure that's the night that I got sick. I feel like that's when it happened. But something interesting that happened while we were standing in line, this guy, he was from France, I suppose. I really don't know. But one of the ladies that we were with was telling him, like, no, we don't have an accent. We speak normal. And he's like, how do you speak normal? It's not even your language. Like, you're speaking English. We're in England. And I was just like, wow, so we do have an accent because this is how you're supposed to speak English. Like, isn't that so interesting? I thought it was interesting. The last thing that we did was visit the Buckingham Palace where the royal family lives, and it just felt really cool to just be in the presence. Like, we were literally at a castle, like a palace, and these are where royal highnesses live. I don't know like what part they were in. I'm sure they weren't anywhere near where we were because there were thousands of people outside for the changing of guards ceremony, which is weird that it's actually a ceremony because they change guards every day, and these are guards that actually guard the palace. So I don't know, but we went for this ceremony and it was pretty nice. It was very short and sweet, but it was nice. So those are the highlights of my trip to London. We also did go shopping one day. I wasn't able to buy much because I can't fit anything in my suitcase to return to the U.S. So, but the shopping was awesome. One thing that I can say is that the fact that they drive on the other side, when I first got there and I first arrived, it was making my stomach hurt. Like, literally, I was sick to my stomach in the cab on the way to the hotel because it just doesn't feel right. Like, you're on the other side looking over, and then, like, when you're turning, it's like, oh, God, this isn't right. Like, it's so weird being on the other side. But overall, the trip was just totally amazing. I'm so happy that I was able to experience that. And if we would have known, like, beforehand that Paris was so close, we would have planned to go to Paris one day because we could take, there's like an underground train that goes under the water, and it was only a 2-hour ride. So it would have been awesome to go to Paris as well, but I hopefully will be there at some point soon, and I hope that you enjoyed this vlog, and there will be more to come. Bye.